You know, something really special is happening in how we think about home and family, especially when it comes to caring for our parents. More and more of us are trying to figure out ways to stay close, to create these wonderful spaces where our parents can live with dignity and independence, but right there with us. Turning a basement into a real, honest-to-goodness apartment is so much more than a renovation project. It's about building a safe and loving home for the people who matter most. So today, we're going to walk through how to do this the right way, from that very first conversation to the final, welcoming touch.
So, how do we even start on a project this big? Well, to make it all manageable, we've broken it down into 5 key parts. We're going to kick things off with the really important homework and, of course, the budget. Then, we'll jump into the fun stuff, the design choices that make all the difference. After that, we'll map out a room-by-room plan, and finally, we'll talk about how to tackle that age-old problem of making a basement not feel like a basement at all.
All right, let's dive right into part 1, due diligence and planning. I gotta tell you, this is the most critical stage. It's the foundation for the entire project. You get this part right, and everything else just falls into place so much more smoothly. Okay, everything, and I mean everything, starts with these 3 non-negotiable steps. First, and honestly the most important, talk to your parents. Have a real, open conversation about what they need right now, and just as important, what they might need in 5 or 10 years. Is a walker in their future? This one conversation will shape literally every decision you make. Next, you have to call your local planning and zoning department. You need to ask one simple question. Are accessory dwelling units, or ADUs, allowed here? Getting this wrong could mean having to tear out thousands of dollars of work later on. It's a huge deal. And finally, you've got to get familiar with building codes, which are really just all about life safety.
Now, when we talk about those safety codes, it really boils down to a few big things. You're going to need at least 7-foot ceilings. You need a certain amount of natural light. But that middle one, egress, that is the absolute deal breaker. Every single bedroom in a basement must have a direct way out in case of an emergency. This is usually a specific size window or a door. This is not a suggestion, folks. It's a life-saving requirement, plain and simple.
Okay, on to part 2, budgeting your build. Let's talk money. This is where we get real about what it's going to take to do this project right.
So to give you a ballpark idea, a basement conversion can run you anywhere from $50 to well over $150 per square foot. Now, I know that's a huge range, right? So what drives that number? It really all depends on the condition of your basement. If you're starting with a clean, dry, empty slate, you'll be on that lower end. But if it needs a lot of heavy lifting, like major waterproofing or foundation work, that cost is going to climb, and fast.
And listen, a huge chunk of your budget is going to go to things you'll never actually see in the finished apartment. It's not all about the cool flooring and paint colors. You absolutely have to plan for the unseens. I'm talking about things like moisture control, which is non-negotiable, or radon testing. Just cutting in a proper egress window can cost anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000. You might need a special sewage ejector pump, some electrical upgrades, or even its own separate HVAC system. And whatever you do, please, please, please build a 15 to 20% contingency fund into your budget. Surprises will happen. It's just a matter of when.
Okay, so with the legal stuff and the financial groundwork all laid out, we get to the really fun and rewarding part in part 3, designing for dignity. This is all about creating a space that isn't just safe, but one that's also comfortable and, well, empowering for your parents as they age. Now, a really key concept here is understanding the difference between universal design and ADA compliance. You might hear both terms. See, the ADA sets strict, legal, black and white rules for public spaces, like ramps and bathroom stalls. But for a private home, universal design is a much better, much more thoughtful approach. It's all about proactively creating a space that's just easy for everyone to use, whether they're in a wheelchair, carrying groceries, or just have a bad knee. It's thoughtful design, not just checking a box.
So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, for flooring, you're going to want something non-slip and super durable, like luxury vinyl plank, or LVP. And make sure there are absolutely 0 thresholds between rooms for people to trip on. Plan for a nice open layout with wide 36-inch doorways. And remember this, good lighting is a safety feature. It's not just decoration. Layer your lighting for different needs, and use those easy-to-press rocker switches and place them just a little bit lower on the wall for easier access.
Okay, let's get into part 4, the room-by-room blueprint. This is where we take all those great principles and start applying them to the actual physical space.
I know. We've mentioned it before, but I really cannot stress this enough. The egress window is the absolute, critical, code-required heart of a legal basement bedroom. It's not just a window, people. It's a lifeline.
It has to be big enough for a firefighter to get in and for someone to get out, and the sill can't be more than 44 inches off the floor. It is, without a doubt, the single most important life-saving feature you are going to install, period. Now let's talk about what is, hands down, the most important room to get right for safety: the bathroom. This is the one spot where a little bit of extra attention to detail can prevent serious accidents and just make daily life so much easier and more comfortable. So here are the keys to a really safe and accessible bathroom. First up, a zero-threshold or walk-in shower is a game changer. It gets rid of the single biggest trip hazard in the entire apartment. Next, install properly anchored grab bars. And let me be clear, a towel rack is not a grab bar. These need to be screwed into the wall studs. A taller, comfort-height toilet makes a world of difference for getting up and down. A floating vanity is great because it opens up the floor space. And finally, simple lever handle faucets are so much easier to use for anyone with arthritis or limited hand strength.
And finally, part 5, losing the basement feel. This is the biggest challenge in any basement project, right? How do you transform a space that people usually associate with being dark, damp, and maybe a little creepy into a warm, bright, and inviting home?
Well, the answer starts with one thing: water control. Before a single piece of drywall goes up, before any flooring goes down, your number 1, 2, and 3 priority has to be making sure that space is perfectly, permanently dry. This means making sure your gutters and your landscaping are pushing water away from your foundation outside, and probably installing an interior drainage system and a reliable sump pump inside. Do not, under any circumstances, cut corners here.
Okay, once it's completely dry, the next step is making it quiet. Because for it to feel like a truly separate apartment, you have to deal with the sound coming from upstairs. This quote says it all, right? The constant noise of footsteps, the dishwasher running, the TV. It can be incredibly disruptive and totally ruins that sense of privacy.
So how do you fix that? Well, it's really a 3-step recipe for a quiet ceiling. First, you install something called resilient channels. These little metal strips create a small air gap that stops vibrations in their tracks. Second, you fill the empty space between the joists with dense, sound-absorbing insulation, like rock wool. And third, you add mass by using thicker drywall. You could even do a double layer. That combination is incredibly effective at creating a peaceful, quiet space.
And to fight that classic basement darkness, it takes a 3-pronged attack. First, cherish every single drop of natural light you get from that egress window. Use light, airy window treatments. Second, go all in on artificial light. And I mean layer it. Plenty of recessed lights, task lighting where it's needed, maybe some wall sconces. And third, use the power of paint. Light reflective colors on the walls and a nice bright white on the ceiling will make the whole apartment feel bigger, brighter, and way more cheerful. You see, when you put all these pieces together, the planning, the safety features, the design, you realize that creating a basement apartment for your parents is one of the most thoughtful things you can ever do. Yeah, it takes serious planning and a real commitment, but it's an investment that pays you back in ways you can't measure, in peace of mind, and most importantly, in keeping your family close.
Ultimately, a well-designed basement apartment offers the absolute best of both worlds: independence and closeness. So the real question is, are you ready to give your parents that gift? The key is finding an experienced local contractor who can be your partner in this whole process and who can help you build a beautiful, safe future for your family.